Gwen, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with some more holiday books for you guys. This is going to be more diverse holiday stories for you, and I'm really excited about it because I'm not only hoping to share my experience with you guys, but I'm hoping to learn something myself. I did 3 books in my first festive holiday reading vlog, and I'm going to be doing 3 more in this one. The 3 books that I'm going to be reading, first one is Royal Holiday by Jasmine Guillory. This is the 4th book in the Wedding Date series. I've been reading the series a little bit out of order, but I have read the first 2 books. Now I'm going to jump into the 4th. Really excited. This is about a mother and daughter that go away on a vacation, and the mother falls in love. So really looking forward to this one. So the author is a person of color. The main characters are people of color, and that's why I put it on this diverse holiday romance story list. The next one is Diwali, a Holly Jolly Diwali by Sonia Lawley, and I have 2 other books by this author on my TBR, her debut, and I believe her 2nd book, but I'm really excited to just go ahead and jump into this one, and then hopefully I'll absolutely love it and be really excited to pick up those other 2 books. My original plan was an author taste test, but I just want to put this in the diverse holiday reading vlog because I want to bring more attention to it. And the 3rd and final book that I will be reading is The Matzah Ball by Jean Meltzer. And this is obviously a Jewish Hanukkah story, and I'm really excited. But it has a little bit of a twist because our main character, even though she's Jewish, she is obsessed with Christmas. So these are the 3 books that I will be reading, diverse holiday romance stories. And I'm just really excited to see what I think. And yeah, tell you if I think that you should pick them up this holiday season. Absolutely loving it, absolutely flying through it. It reads so quickly and it's so cute. It's been a while since I've read the other books in the series, but they all follow different characters, I'm pretty sure. But I'd probably have to go back and remind myself of different characters and stuff like that one. In this one, you're following Maddie and Vivian. So Maddie is the daughter, Vivian is the mom, and Maddie is taking this job to work as a stylist to the Duchess in England. And because her friend Amelia is pregnant with twins, her doctor has told her no stress, you need to be on bed rest and all of that. So she gives the job to Maddie, and Maddie invites her mom Vivian to go with her because it's during the holidays and she just doesn't want to be by herself during the holidays and just working. So they go, and it's really Vivian's story when she's there because Maddie is working with the Duchess. Vivian meets Malcolm, who is a private secretary to the Queen, and she immediately is attracted to him on her first morning when she wakes up and she goes down to the kitchen and she sees him and she's like, okay. And then he offers to take her on a tour around the estate and stuff like that, and then they go horseback riding, and I don't know, it's just really cute from there. I am currently flying through it. Like I said, I am on chapter 10, page 177. So I'm probably going to finish this today. Just been sitting here reading all afternoon. I am on page 250. I'm almost done, you guys. And I know it's gonna be a happily ever after, but right now I'm just so sad with where the characters are. And I just want them to be together. So yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and read the last 50 or so pages, and then I will check in and let you know my full thoughts. Royal Holiday by Jasmine Guillory, and overall I really enjoyed this story. I thought it was great that it featured a diverse cast and the characters were older, like more mature characters. The main characters, Vivian and Malcolm, were in their 50s. They've been previously married. It's been a long time since they've dated anybody else, been with anybody else, and them finding each other over the holiday season was just the best. Now, there isn't a major plot going on in this one other than, you know, Vivian and her daughter going to England for the holidays because her daughter is taking care of the Duchess and she's just kind of there to spend the holidays. On the first day there, she pads down to the kitchen and sees Malcolm hanging out at the back door of the kitchen. He's like trying to get some scones. And she's immediately like attracted to him, and he apparently is to her as well, because he like is looking at her, is like, hey, do you need a tour of the estate, basically? And she's like, sure. So he takes her on that, and then the story just really takes off from there. And there's not really anything happening other than them like hanging out and getting to know each other, and he does these like little surprises for her and stuff. And the few days that they're there, like scheduled there for the vacation, they're really enjoying their time. They write little letters back and forth to each other, which I think is adorable. I really enjoyed it. I just wish that the characters would have felt like they had more chemistry, and I would have been rooting for them a little bit more. And there wasn't, like I said, too much of a plot or too much development of the characters, actually. But overall, enjoyable story. Would highly recommend you read it if you're looking for something like fast-paced, a little bit festive, and just, you know, you're gonna get a happily ever after. Started this last night and I made it to chapter 12, page 96, and I'm already really enjoying this, and I'm learning a lot. I have been like dog-earing some things, just like cultural things and information about Diwali, and I'm loving it. At the very start of the novel, you have the parents of our main character confronting her, saying they're concerned that she isn't dating. She's 29 years old. She still lives at home, which is very like normal in this culture. And she says, okay, fine, set me up on a date. So they do, and she goes to work the next day and she gets laid off, which is unfortunate because she's very smart and very valued in her career and her field and stuff like that, and she loves her job. So that happens, and then she does end up going out on the date. It goes pretty well. But then because she lost her job, she decides to go to her friend's wedding. She goes to India just in time for Diwali and her friend's wedding, and she goes there, and I think it's going to be a romance that happens there. So she goes there, and of course she, even though she is Indian and she's never been to India, and her parents even haven't been back to India in a very long time, but I'm learning about, like I said, Diwali, the caste system in India, all the aunties, and just kind of everything. finished a Holly Jolly Diwali. Had some good things going for it, like a lot of culture, both related to the holidays we were celebrating, Diwali. There was a wedding involved. There was a little bit of romance, but there was just a lot that kind of clouded the romance. It seemed like such a small part of the story. So because she's never been to India before, but because she doesn't know about Diwali, before she went over to visit her friend for her wedding, she started asking people like, what exactly is Diwali? What are we celebrating here? What does it mean? What are the customs? What are the traditions? And while she got like vague answers from people, it was never fully explained to me. And yes, I did my own research. Yes, I know a little bit more about it. And I do happen to know people that celebrate Diwali. So that was great that I could actually ask a real life source myself, which is what I thought our character in the book was doing. Apparently not, because these people had no idea, did not explain it well, and I had to go to outside resources to do that. I could go on and on about all the things that I didn't like about this book. It was setting up like the side characters of caricatures, showing a lot of the stereotypes about India and the culture and stuff like that, and that the romance was a little insta-lovey. Well, not a little, it was insta-lovey, and they were just kind of floundering all over the place. I didn't feel the chemistry between the two characters, but I did learn a lot. But a lot of that was thanks to me looking things up. I wrote my review last night and I'm just kind of teetering 2 or 3 stars. I think I'm bumping it down to 2 stars. Okay, so 2 out of 5 stars for this one. Unfortunately, I didn't feel the romance. I didn't really like the characters. The plot was all over the place. It wasn't really focused on Diwali. This was just a hot mess, you guys. And picked up the Matzah Ball last night after I finished a Holly Jolly Diwali, and I was able to make it to chapter 3. I am on page 35, so I'm not very far, so I can't really tell you too many thoughts, but I did want to give you a couple of like insights into the main character of the story. Her name is Rachel Rubenstein Goldblatt, and she has a chronic illness that prevents her from working a traditional job, but she has this really nice apartment, and her mom doesn't understand like how she's able to afford it. She has a secret that nobody knows except for her best friend, and that she is obsessed with Christmas. And it's kind of a problem because she's Jewish and her parents are all about Hanukkah, and her father is this really important, infamous rabbi. And of course they would not approve, but her friend's trying to tell her that like they don't really have a choice now. You're a grown adult, you can do what you want, but she still doesn't want to reflect poorly on her family or her father. So she's keeping the fact that she is obsessed with Christmas, so much so that she has under a pen name written 20 Christmas romance stories. She has this whole room in her house that I guess no one's been in except for her friend, where she has it all decorated for Christmas. There's like a train, you know, station set up. There's decorations. All of her novels are lined up, and she collects these like Christmas ornaments, and at the very beginning of the novel she gets like the last one that she needed in the collection. I don't know, she's just obsessed with Christmas, and her friend tries to talk to her about it, and just like, oh, you should just tell your parents. And there's something there. There's some reason why Christmas has become her safe space. I think that I made it sound so, I don't know. I didn't really have a good grasp on the story the first time I checked in. I was only 30-ish pages or something like that into the story. But now I am on chapter 11, page 118. And I have a little bit better idea about what it's about. Also, I love this spine so much. The font choices. So basically, we have a Jewish girl who is secretly obsessed with Christmas, tasked with writing a Hanukkah romance. Since she has never done that before, she needs to get some inspiration, and she decides to draw inspiration from the Matzah Ball, Max, which is hosted by this guy from her past. And there seems to be some miscommunication, some different ideas of what happened in the past. Not that they have confronted it yet, but we get inside both of the main characters' heads, Rachel and Jacob, and Rachel thinks that one thing happened and he thinks another one happened, but it's going to be their romance story, I'm sure, and it's going to be freaking adorable. One other thing to note is that our main character, Rachel, has chronic fatigue syndrome. So it has like ME/CFS, and that makes her really tired, debilitatingly exhausted, like can't get out of bed for days, weeks, months. I finished The Matzah Ball by Jean Meltzer and I rated it 4 out of 5 stars. I ended up really liking this one. It did take me a while to get through, but I totally blame Animal Crossing for that. I loved the representation of chronic illness in this. The author also has this chronic pain, so it wasn't own voices as far as that is concerned. I mean, plus the author is Jewish, so an own voices Hanukkah romance story that you're gonna want to get your hands on. I mean, obviously if you're Jewish, you're gonna want to pick this one up because it's super cute, but also just if you like holiday romances, if you want to learn something new, I would definitely pick this up. It is an enemies to lovers in a way. It's not like they hate each other, it's just that their lives have been so far removed from each other since they were young kids, and they kind of had a rivalry going back then. They would kind of pull pranks on each other at like this Jewish summer camp, and then there was like things that happened in that summer camp, and then they haven't talked to each other in a very long time, and now he's back in her life for this Matzah Ball Max that he's hosting, and her father is like this really premier rabbi in New York, and so he wants him to be part of the ceremony, and so obviously he hooks up with Rachel. He's always liked Rachel. He's always had that little piece of him that has always thought about her and stuff like that. She is obsessed with Christmas, which is an interesting spin on things. She's also like has this like secret life where she is obsessed with Christmas. She is this best-selling author. She has like all these movies and stuff like that. And because it's her father is such this like important rabbi in the community, she really can't share those things about her life. She has to keep them hidden so it doesn't like tarnish her family's like reputation and name and stuff like that. So there's a lot of that as well. But there is a lot of culture in here. There's lots of like festive holiday vibes in here. There's a cute little romance in here. There's friendship vibes. There's LGBT representation in here. There's just so much packed into here, and I really enjoyed it. I didn't rate it 5 stars, obviously. I rated it 4 stars, and I don't know what it was that kept me from giving it like 5-star rating. I definitely was rooting for the relationship, and although I didn't feel their chemistry per se, like it wasn't like hot, sexy, steamy times. It was more like they were soulmates, and they even talk about that, and there's like a certain term for it used, and like what it means. It's kind of like they're destined to be together, and I just really felt that. So I think they're gonna have a really great life together. I think they are soulmates. I really like Rachel's best friend and how supportive he is and how much he stood up for her like through everything. I also appreciate the battle with Rachel, like loving Christmas, but it being like against her faith and stuff like that, and struggling with that decision and wanting to tell people, but like not being able to tell people and stuff like that. But that was believable to me in a way, but like I'm not really sure, obviously. And yeah, so recommend this one for sure. Yeah, I liked this one a lot. I did tab some things. I did like their representation, like I said, of the chronic pain. And there was this like little blurb that explained like in the text. So I'm gonna insert that like here at the bottom for you so you can know exactly what I'm talking about. And I have never heard of this before. There were some other things in here like MS, and one of my really good friends, my sorority sister, has MS, so I know a little bit more about that. But this like chronic fatigue syndrome, which is like, it's like totally dumbed down name, but I'm going to put the information here. And it had a lot of information and resources in the back as far as that, and the author kind of explained their story. And yeah, so really enjoyed this one. I also I started reading Royal Holiday by Jasmine Guillory, and I rated this one 3 stars. I didn't feel the chemistry as much as I wanted to between our 2 main characters, but I think that's just because like they are older, like they're in their 50s. So I like seeing that mature side of things. They're also like people of color, so I like that. And it was like festive a little bit. I wish it was more festive. And then I read a Holly Jolly Diwali, which I wanted to love, and I did learn a lot while reading this, which was kind of the point. But I just feel like it put such like a negative spin on like India and that culture and everything like that. And there was a romance, but it took a back seat to kind of like everything else. It was mainly like the main character was just trying to find herself, and it was around the holidays time that she was doing this and her trip to India and stuff like that. And then, so I rated that one 2 stars. But if you're looking for a Diwali like book, I would suggest that one. It's the only one I've ever read. So, and then this one, which I highly recommend everybody pick up because it's so freaking cute. But that's all for today's video. I hope you have enjoyed this diverse holiday reading vlog. And yeah, maybe there will be more to come. All right, that's it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you're having a lovely day or night, and I'll see you guys again in another video very soon. Bye guys.